Thank you. So by default, I'll keep all of you on mute. Whenever you want to have a word, you can happily unmute and you can talk. All right. Thank you. Okay, I think this is day one. That's the reason I'm just waiting for all other participants to join. But from tomorrow onwards, that is from next class onwards, we will be on time. That is 8 o'clock means at max by 8:02, we will start the session. All right. Okay. So today, I don't teach anything related to clinical SAS or whatever. Like I don't teach anything about the coding or domain. Today, I'm going to give you a quick introduction about me. I'll also provide the introduction about the complete course, what we are going to discuss, the course content completely we are going to discuss. And then what are going to be the prerequisites? If I want to start this particular one, the prerequisite is also very important. That also I'm going to discuss. And I'm going to open for the Q&A. And here you can ask me whatever the questions you have in your mind. Make sure you get clarity on all of them. Make sure everything is clear. And from Monday onwards, you're going to kickstart with the clear content and clear sessions. All right, this is the agenda. Okay, so let me start with the first one. So my name is Murali Krishna. You can simply call me Murali. I have around 14 years of experience. Out of that, close to 12 years, I can say 11 years I have spent in the IT industry. So before I came to IT, I worked as a lecturer in one of the engineering college. So together I can say that 3 years of lecturer life followed by the IT guy. This is how I have started with my career. Basically, I'm a graduate. I can say I'm a BTech in electrical and electronics engineering. That is my basic study. Followed by, I told you already, I started my career as a lecturer. Then I got an opportunity to work with Amazon. This is my first company. I worked with Amazon for 3.5 years. Later on, I have joined a healthcare client who is none other than United Health Group. You can call here as Optum India Services. Later on, I got a chance to work with Capgemini. There I worked with some of the European clients. I was part of their onshore structure and I traveled to Europe and I worked there. And then I have again joined a banking jet called JP Morgan and Chase. And finally, now I'm currently working as an assistant vice president, which is nothing but a technical programming manager in Development Bank of Singapore, which is nothing but DBS. All this content is already available in my LinkedIn page also. You might be wondering, Murali, if you look into your career, this is retail, this is healthcare, this is, I can say that collateral services, then followed by banking, again into the banking. Where do you have this clinical domain, right? You might be wondering and you might want to know about it. From the time I have joined Capgemini, I started growing my interest into clinical because there won't be any difference or you don't need much of the functional expertise when it comes to banking or healthcare or retail. But you cannot survive or you cannot even enter into this particular field of clinical trials without any C-disk exposure. So there I started working on my C-disk knowledge. I learned C-disk on my own. Then I started participating in some of the hackathons. You can call it as a Fuse hackathons, PHUSE. So this is one of the great way to start exploring the clinical things. So I started doing this. And luckily, I got some of the freelancing opportunities as well. So there I started working as a freelancer for C-disk. This is how I built my knowledge in the CDS. That is where I got my exposure to the CDS. Okay. And this is my brief exposure to what are the various companies that I have worked on, how I got to know about the CDS, and what is my exposure to the CDS. In addition to this, I'm well versed with Python, and I have completed my basics in R. I'm very fluent in SQL, that is the bread and butter. I started my hands-on machine learning and artificial intelligence. I have very good understanding about the NoSQL databases. Of course, I'm acting as a mentor for NoSQL databases. Beyond all, I have also have very good exposure to the cloud, especially AWS. These are my technical competencies. All right. So why I want to tell this upfront is you want to know, or you have to know, who is your mentor. I don't treat myself as a lecturer, or I don't treat myself as a teacher. I prefer to be a mentor, because you all are professionals. All you need is a guidance. A mentor can do that. All right. So this is about my brief introduction. And I'll come to know about all of you in a while. Maybe after this particular class, whoever is continuing this class, I request you to share some of the details with me. Those details are going to be your name, your education qualification, all right, and how do you have any exposure to the CDISC already? That is, maybe by any chance you are working, or by any chance you have learned somewhere, right? And what you are expecting from this course, expectations, right? Or why do you want to learn this? These details I would need from all of you. All right. So after the class, you can share this particular details with me. Okay. So you already know, all my WhatsApp number. If not, you can get it from Balusar. If some of you are coming from the Balusar side, or others, you already know it, you can share it across. Or before you end this particular session, you can simply drop your details here. Don't say one after the other, just keep everything together and drop me a message so that I can come to know about yourself. Clear? All right. Having said that, I want to start the course content. The course content is going to be pretty simple. I'll teach you what I'm going to do for the next 3 months of the time. Before that, I want to put clarity on few things. Number one, don't leave my class with doubts in your mind. Even if you haven't understand a simple topic, right? Ask me any number of times you want. If your preferred language is Telugu, Tamil, I can teach you in these two different languages also, right? I can teach you in English. That is my default language. If at all, if you're not comfortable about any specific topic, you can ask me. I can also help you to understand in your mother tongue. I'm quite familiar with Telugu and Tamil, so I can help you there. All right. But only request is don't leave the class with a doubt. No, I don't encourage that. Number two, I don't rush up. I don't rush up. Whatever the pace I'm going with now, this is my pace. This is the only speed I will go throughout the classes, right? If at all, I may take another 1 week of time, but I won't complete this within a hurry things, not at all, right? So slow and steady will the race, right? So the approximate duration for this particular course is 2.5 to 3 months. That is the total duration of this particular course, right? Maybe 1 week here and there. So you can say that maximum within 3 months we can complete for sure. Number three. These two are primary things. Main, be open. Don't feel shy. You're all paying. You're all investing your time. You're all investing your money on me. At the same time, you're investing on yourself. So be open, be vocal about whatever is popping in your mind. Don't feel like, hey, what others will think in the class if I ask this particular question? It may look silly. It might be silly for you. It might be a difficult question for someone else. It might be difficult for you. It might be simple for others. Don't worry. Your question is yours. I'm your mentor. You have all the rights to ask whatever the questions you have. That is very, 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 very important. Can I say all of you are clear with these 3 points? Can I have a quick confirmation from everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Wonderful. Next, let's go ahead with the course content. Before I start with this, let me put prerequisites first, and then we can go ahead with the course content. First thing, the prerequisites for this course is, this is basically a CDISC one, correct? So you all know CDISC is an organization, right? Which has been invented, developed, and maintaining by FDA, right? More and more details about this, anyways, we are going to learn in a while. Here in the CDISC session, we primarily concentrate on 3 things: SDTM, ADAM, and TLF. But before we kickstart with any of this, the first prerequisite is, by end of this particular course, you are going to be treat yourself as a clinical SAS programmer. See, it is clinical, fine, but primarily you are a SAS programmer. You are meeting the needs or demands of your CDISC industry with the help of your knowledge, with the help of your clinical knowledge, and your skill set is primarily a SAS. So first you are a SAS programmer, then only you are a clinical expertise or whatever it is. So the very first prerequisite for this particular session is going to be, you need to be very, very, very good with SAS, both base and advanced. To be very honest, the base and advanced, this thing will come to the picture only for the certification purpose. Only for the certification purpose. When it comes to real time, or when it comes to your day-to-day work, you cannot differentiate what is base or what is advanced. No, you cannot really differentiate. This differentiation comes to the picture only when it comes to the certification. The syllabus for base as certified programmer and advanced as certified programmer is different. That is where you got these two. That is where you have termed as base and advanced. But overall, you are going to have 8 different modules under the SAS, and you need to be very good with all these 8 modules. Some of them I'll tell you, those are very, very important, and you need to be very good with that particular one. First thing, please make sure you are good with both character and numeric functions. First thing, because for the entire data cleaning, for the data manipulation, you require this. Number 2, you need to be very good with the procedures. That can be simple procedures like sort and your print or contents, or that may be a difficult procedures like your univariate, or it is going to be a proc tablet or proc report, or the statistical procedures like proc means, proc frequency, right? You should be good with that particular one. So one is functions for the data cleaning. Number 2, procedures for getting the data in a way you want. Number 3, for all of your data transformation, you should be good with conditional processing and loops. Loops, you don't use much when it comes to your clinical SAS. It doesn't mean that you don't use it or all. You are going to use it, but not as extensive as your other domains or other fields. But still, it is important. It is important. But here, all you need to do is, at least if you have do-over, fine. Okay, then most important thing, combining SAS data sets. This is one of the crucial one because majority of the time you will be merging the data sets. So you should be very clear with this combining SAS data sets. ProcSQL. Again, for the data manipulations, you have to be good with the ProcSQL. Last but not the least, the heart of the SAS programming, which is nothing but macros. Remember, whatever the projects that we are going to do, we will convert our entire code into macros. So I would need all of you brush up with these things before we kickstart with our clinical SAS. Right? You have time. So first I'm going to start with the introduction here, right? So the introduction to the clinical things and all, it may take a week time. That is next entire week, we will try to understand the terminologies, all these kind of stuff. So within this particular 1 week of the time, so right from tomorrow, that is Saturday, Sunday, followed by 1 week of time, you be prepared, you just brush up, you just have a revision of all your content related to the SAS programming. Make sure you are good with all this. Nothing else. This is the only prerequisite I have. I believe all of you have done already, but still I'm telling you, this is important. Can I have a confirmation? All of you are clear with the prerequisites? Everyone? Right. If anyone having difficulty or if anyone have, or maybe forgotten your things, please fresh up yourself and make sure you will be good with this. Okay. Then there are few people who have not completed this, right? They're also part of this batch. So, yeah, Rajendra. Yeah, Rajendra.
Sir, I don't know about this character numeric functions and condition processing.
No problem. No problem. That's what I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you, Rajendra, right now. There are few people in this batch. They are not aware of that. I'm totally okay with that. So whoever has not started with your base and advanced SAS, there is a batch which I'm going to start. It's going to be a weekend batch. It will commence on 4th of February, right? So 4th February, you are going to have a new batch which is starting for base and advanced SAS programming. You can join over there. All right, it is a weekend batch. You can contact me for the details so I can help you with that. So we can proceed with that particular one. By the time you enter into the SDTM, that is first 1 week will be this. Then we started with the SDTM. In the SDTM, by the time we complete the first set of the domains, the theoretical portion, we will be completing up to the numerical and character functions. So parallelly, you can learn about it. Not an issue. It's not at all an issue. But it requires some, what I can say, commitment from your end. You should spend at least every day 1 to 1.5 hours of the time for this particular one. Then only you can cope up. Anyways, you can connect with me offline. I can help you with that. Is that clear, Rajendra?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. No issues. Who and all are not part of the base and advanced SAS, this is the program for you. Okay.
Oh, okay, sure, sir.
Perfect. All right. So this is about the prerequisites as well. I think we are good with this. Now let's go with the course content. So when it comes to the course content, see, this is how I maintain a tracker, right? This is how I maintain a tracker. Maybe I'll just replace everything for you. All right. So this is about your SDTM. Anyways, I'll give you the complete overview. So I will maintain everything like this. Even I'm going to maintain an Excel. In the Excel, you are going to have all this. So how our class is going to start is Monday, that is coming Monday. We are going to start with our first topic, that is Introduction to the Clinical Trials. Because some of you might have the awareness, but some of you are completely new to this particular one. So we will start with the introduction to the clinical trials. Here we try to understand what are called clinical trials, what are the phases of clinical trials, in each phase what will happen, what kind of data we are going to store, or what kind of data we are going to record, what and all the roles and responsibilities of various people who are part of this particular clinical trials, who will be part of it, what are these roles and responsibilities. We also discuss about what and all the various documents we are going to be aware of in this process, right? Finally, how the submission process is going to help, where SAS will be involved. All these things we are going to discuss in the first 1 week, right? So here we'll have the introduction to the clinical trials, then phases, what data you're going to store, or who is going to store it, who and all participate in this particular one, what are the roles and responsibilities of those people, what are going to be the various documents that would required for this particular clinical trials, how the submission process is going to be. This we will go on a lighter note for now. Submission process, I'll only go a lighter note here. At the end, we will go in deep. Then where the SAS will be involved. This and all are going to be the topic number 1. Once we have these details, then we will give a quick introduction to the CDISC, who started this, what is the purpose of this, what are various libraries you have in the CDISC and all we are going to do. Then here itself, I'll give you the introduction to SDTM, ADAMS, and TLF. Only the introductions. And then immediately we will jump into the most important topic, SDTM, study data tabulation model. There are a lot of domains in this. For learning the SDTM, there is an implementation guide available. That implementation guide actually developed by the CDISC, right? So we are going to have the multiple versions, right? The version that we are following is implementation guide version 3.2. But anyways, it is going to get expired. That is, we should stop this particular one by somewhere around March 2023. Just a couple of days, a couple of months. So what I'll do is, though I'll start with implementation guide 3.2, I will upgrade that to 3.3. Latest is 3.4. But I'll upgrade to, always there will be one version lower than the latest one, the industry will follow. So we will go with the 3.3. So currently, whatever the data we have in the 3.2, I will upgrade and I'll help you with 3.3. So in a simple terms, if you ask me, the implementation guide that I am going to follow here is 3.3. Okay, there are so many domains here, you can see. Each structure, you can call it as a domain. First, we will start with the special purpose domains. Remember, each and every domain I'm going to explain here, right? Still, there are few more, but these are the main domains which most of the studies will be followed. So that's the reason I'll proceed with these domains. If any of you have a specific requirement for a special domains, you can ask me. I can also include them and I can also explain them. The reason why I'm going with these domains is, for these domains, I have a real-time project so that you can work on it, you can get enough hands on it as well. Okay, so first we will go with the special purpose domains. We'll start with demographics, which is nothing but a parent domain, then comments, subject elements, and subject visits. First, we'll complete the theoretical part. Immediately after the theoretical part, we will start with a small in-house project or in-class project. This project is a simple project which will be having approximately 20 subjects. With the 20 subjects, we are going to start with this particular project. I will do the complete code conversion for this particular one for your demographics domain. Then I will start our main project as well. Project number 1. This project, which is having 400 plus subjects, a very huge one. This 400 plus subjects project we are going to take. In here also, I'm going to give the coding for the DM end to end. In the class, I'll go end to end coding, right? Then we will go with the events. Under the events, again, I'll start with the theoretical part for all these 5 domains that I have mentioned. Then again, in the in-class project, I will go with AE. AE, I will explain. Then I will give you the specification Excel and I'll guide you what needs to be done. You need to do the coding for the remaining here. Similarly, for the project, you need to do the coding on your own. If any of you stuck anywhere, we can have one-to-one. We will connect separately, right? For your doubts, for your specific doubts, I'll clarify you. It may take 1 hour, it may take 2 hours, never mind, but it should be one-to-one. This is your doubt. Okay. The same thing will happen to the interventions. The same thing will happen to the findings. The same thing will happen to the trial design domains. We'll also go with the relation domains called RELREC, supplementary domains called SUPPL. All this I'm going to explain in depth. For everything, I'm going to provide you the notes. I'll also show you how the notes looks like. I'll go with one of my recent batch to show you the data. Let's say SDTM. Can you see? For each domain, wherever you require, I'm going to provide you the class notes is mandatory. I can provide you like this. You can see this. For every variable with the examples, with the clear-cut details, I'm going to explain. Hope you can see all of you. First, I define the variables. I define the structure. If at all any small coding is required, I'll also help you with the coding. Each and every variable, how to extract, I'm going to help you with, right? I'll provide you the examples. In addition to that, I'm also going to provide the examples like this, right? If at all it requires some fuse papers or Sugi papers, that is the papers which are presented at the SAS, even those I'm going to share you. This will help you to give little more, awareness about how to understand these particular ones, because I like to read them. So I like to share them with you as well, right? I don't mind, right? Whichever I feel like good, I'll share it with you. That is the second thing. Once we complete the theory, once we complete the examples and everything, then I'll go with the coding. I'll also show you how the coding looks like. So simple project, let's forget about it. Let's go with the good project, the big project that I have talked about. So let's say this is one of the project, right? So I'll show you how the code looks like. A simple sample code looks like. Just a sec. Okay, let me open lab code. Very interesting one. Can you see this? This is the code that I have written some time back and explained in the class. I clearly mentioned all the details. This we have done in the 23rd June 2022. And you can see this is the how the code is. Remember, all this code we are going to write in the class. Done. 750 lines of the code for the project that I have mentioned. This is how the coding is going to be, but not to scare you. One simple project, one complex project. Simple project to help you to get into the shoes, complex project to get the real-time understanding. So both of them are required. So that's the reason I don't leave with one, I'll go with both. Okay, that is your SDTM. So what and all I'm going to provide here, I clearly provide the notes. For everything, notes will be there. Number 2, examples. Number 3, small assignments. Number 4, project coding. Number 5, the complete project details along with the code. I'll also give you the code if at all you require. right? These are the 4 things. In addition, you have all my classes will be recorded, but I highly encourage not to miss the live classes, not to miss the live classes. If at all any of you want to take leave on a specific day, if you cannot attend, update me upfront. Only for those who are not able to attend the class, I'll share the recording. Then you can ask me, Murli, does it mean that you don't share the recording for everyone? What if I want to listen one more time? I will share with you. But let's say I complete the special purpose domains. Until this, all the recordings, I'll share it with you. You can ask me, Murli, why can't you share on day-to-day basis? If I share it on day-to-day basis, you don't attend the classes. Your mind always tends to go with, why can't, anyways, the recording will come tomorrow. If I skip today, you don't attend. That's the only reason. But at the end of each of the category, you're going to get all the recordings. All of you are with me? Why I'm doing this? This is just to encourage you to not skip the class, nothing else. I don't mind my videos getting circulated. I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Clear? All of you are clear with SDTM? Can I have a quick confirmation? Right.
Yes.
Perfect. Remember one thing, guys. I don't know your level of experience, but anyone under 6 years of experience, if you want to put under 6 years of experience, you have to be very strong in SDTM. This is your bread and butter. This is your bread and butter. How strong you are in this, that is going to decide your fate in your interview. Clear? First thing. Then you can ask me, Murli, just a sec. Okay. You can ask me one thing, Murli, in that particular case, don't I need Adams? No, you need it. You need to have good understanding about Adams. If you tell to someone, hey, I worked on Adam, being a 3 years of experience professional, being a 5 years experience professional, really people will have a doubt at you. Because Adam requires a great detailing about your project, a great detailing about your study, a very good hands-on experience about your SDTM. And you should be a great statistical programmer. Then only you will get a chance to work on Adam. There are few organizations who are giving some of the enhancements in the Adam. That's the reason I say that enhancements part we need to take care. So even in the Adam, I will go with all of them. See, first we start with ADSL, that is going to be your parent, followed by ADEG, ADLB, ADVS, ADDA, ADAE, ADC, the ADCM, and ADMH. All of them I'm going to cover. I don't leave anything. I don't leave anything. When it comes to the coding, I'll go in detail coding for the ADSL, right? Then the remaining are nothing but ADSL plus EG, ADSL plus LB, ADSL plus VS. So I'll give you the specification Excel. You need to start coding. At any point of view, if you stuck, again, we have one-to-one. This is how I encourage you to do the coding. I need you to do the coding properly. I told you I'm a mentor. The difference between mentor and the teacher is teacher will do the spoon feeding. I'll do the spoon feeding in terms of your theory. When it comes to the practicals, when it comes to the coding, first I treat you as a kid with a 0 years of experience. Then slowly I want to make sure that you're a professional programmer. I want you to bring to that particular level. That is my primary goal, right? My goal is not simply teach and leave. I need to ensure that you're a great programmer, right? That is about your ADSL. So once we complete all our SDTM, we will enter into the Adams. In the Adams, we do all the structures we are going to explain in detail. The coding part for the ADSL, we do end to end. For the rest of the things, I'll share you the specification Excel. Anywhere you stuck, we have one-to-ones. Once we complete SDTM, we will enter to ADAM. Once we complete ADAM, we'll go to tables, listings, and figures. This is also another area. If you are a SAS programmer, more than sufficient to start with us. Generally, if you are a 3 years or 4 years of experienced person, when you join any organization, generally people will start give the work in this area because this area doesn't require any clinical domain expertise. All it requires is SAS programming knowledge. If you have SAS programming knowledge, you can easily kickstart this. You have something called mock shells. Based on the mock shell, you can write a program and you can get your data. So here also, once we complete this, the source for your TLF is ADAM. The source for the ADAM is SDTM. The source for the SDTM is raw data sets. That's the reason we follow in the same order. So here we do some of the tables, we create some of the listings, and we also prepare some of the figures. That's the wrap for your total programming and the total content, but it is not end yet. Once you complete this, I'll help you with few things. Number one, I'll help you with your resume preparation. How to make sure your resume looks good. Is it having the right content or not? How to present your project, how to present yourself when you're appearing for the SDTM, ADAM, and TLF interviews, or even the general SAS developer interviews. I'll help you with that. Suppose if you attend any interview, right? Irrespective of whether you're able to clear it or not, irrespective of that fact, if you are able to remember your questions or if you note down your questions, I'll help you with all your questions with multiple answers for those questions. We can have a discussion, right? Let's say that someone called, let's say some ABC from our class attended an interview. You note down, let's say there are 10 questions they have asked, 8 you are able to answer, 2 you haven't. You can give me the 2 questions. You can call me and Murli, these are the 2 questions they have asked, but I haven't answered. I can help you with the answers. I can help you with the various ways of answering it. Even if you tell me what are the various questions that you have answered properly, even for them, I can give you the different explanations with the examples so that those will be helpful for your next one. Clear? These are the few things that I would like to mention. These are the few things that I would like to mention before we go ahead with the original content. All right. And very clear. Don't ask me for, because this is some of the things I'll expect, right? So try to be on the ethical side. So don't ask me something which is not ethical. All right. You can ask me for the help, but don't force me for unethical things. All right. These are the stuff. I hope all of you are clear. So with this, I'm giving the floor to you guys. Whoever have any questions, I'm open for the Q&A. Whatever questions you have, feel free to ask.
Hi, Murli.
Hey,
I'm
Devi.
Devi.
Hi, Devi, tell me.
Can you provide any certification after end of the course?
Any?
Any certification?
Okay, let me help you. Good. You have asked us. See, certification. There are 2 types of certification, guys. One is course completion. The another thing is your competency, your skill actually measured, your skill actually validated, and the certification has been provided for your skill. So all the institutes will provide this. Until and unless you are doing someone like Coursera, Simply Learn, Edureka, right? Reputed institutes, it might be helpful, but those are only the course completion certificates. If you see that they clearly mention this part, let's say Devi. Devi is the person who have completed this particular course on this particular day. That doesn't mean that you are expert in that particular course. Any ISO certified institutes can give that. if you need this kind of a certification, I can help you. I can register, I can help you. But this will not at all useful. Number 2, skill-based. For SAS, the SAS certification should come from SAS.com. There are a bunch of certifications available. Suppose if you are good in base, you are a base SAS certified SAS programmer. There is going to be $180 is going to be the fee you need to pay. You need to appear either from the Pearson Institute, or Pearson is the one who will conduct this particular one, or it is also a proctor based now. That is from your home also you can write. And this one is valid. The credentials will be valid. The certification, the badge, everything will be valid. That will certify that SAS is certifying that you're a skilled person. The same will happen to the advanced SAS programmer. The same will happen to the clinical SAS program. For all of them, the fee is $180. So hope I have answered your question, Devi.
Yes, yes, sir. And so is it mandatory for
Okay.
job actually?
First of all,
Mandatory?
not at all mandatory.
Okay.
Not at all. Simple example, I'm in front of you. I don't have any certification in SAS. I have certifications in other programming languages, but not in SAS.
Oh, okay.
But not in SAS. This is my 13th year in SAS. I told you already.
Okay.
Right? But where it doesn't mean that I'm discouraging the people who want to do the certification. See, let's say Devi, you are the one, and myself, Morley. We both, let's say, have the same experience, 3 years. Let's say. A recruiter has received your profile and my profile. Both the profiles looks good, except that you have a badge saying that base SAS certified programmer at the top, but I don't have any badges. In the interview scheduling, in the screening, your name will go first because
Yes, yeah.
you're one step ahead of me. Where? In the screening.
Yes,
Not
yeah,
anywhere.
exactly.
Not anywhere. Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Any questions from anyone?
Sir, and one more thing. Actually, I searched in Google. The SaaS software is very expensive, right? So, will you provide the software, and we have to buy ourselves only?
Wonderful. I'm happy that someone is asking very, very, very valid questions. I'm really happy with that. I'll help you with the SaaS software. Guys, this is one of the myth. Because first thing is what you said is 100% true. SaaS is most expensive because of its features that is offering, because of the security, because of the enterprise support. It is the most expensive tool. But never mind, SaaS have its own free version also. SaaS itself is providing this. Can you see this? Right? So this one, I'll also show you. This is again have two things. One is going to be SaaS Studio, which again a paid version. In this itself, you have SaaS for academics. Can you see the SaaS on demand for academics? This is completely free. All you need is a browser followed by internet, nothing else. Just sign in and you can use it. And I'm going to use the same tool in your class throughout because this is the licensed one. This is licensed in the sense it is open for all the people who want to learn SAS. Can you see this? This is from SAS itself. You don't need any software. This is a web interactive software, which is pretty much similar to all the tools. It doesn't mean that I don't have the tools. Can you see? SAS Enterprise Guide, SAS 9.4, both of them are available. I can also show you the ways how you can do it, but this is the ethical way. SAS itself is encouraging you to learn it. You can also say that 5 GB of the data storage for your personal files. You can connect from anywhere. Anywhere. All you need is internet connection. That's it. So you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to use any pirated versions. Don't use it. right? I'll help you how to master in this. Next. Clear,
Okay,
Devi?
yeah. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Others.
Yeah, hi Murli, this is Ajay.
Hey,
There
Ajay.
things I would like to discuss. One is
Hmm.
I have one question, and one point I would one second is my expectation. My question is on which therapeutic area we are going to deal with, and second thing is, as you mentioned, that in future if we face any interview question that we then we can discuss with you. So from past your experience, you must have came across n number of interview question as per the domain. So my expectation is, as we learn the each domain, whatever things comes in your mind as an interview point of view or something like that, that you will discuss with us, so that we will be already prepared ourselves for the interview.
Perfect. Wonderful. First, I'll answer the second question, then I can come to the first one. Okay. Your second question about the interview questions. First of all, while teaching, okay, if you are appearing for other than clinical, any other domain, let's say banking, healthcare, all those, there you definitely required a real scenario-based examples. Generally, in all my base and advanced SAS classes, I'll go with, let's say, if I teach a simple scan function, for an example, all right, it can be used just to pick up based on the delimiter. It is going to extract the words. I can tell that, I can give a normal example, I can leave. But in general, I'll also teach if it is a banking industry where the scan will be useful. If it is a healthcare industry, where it will be useful. If it is a clinical, where it will be useful. In that way, we will teach, right? Now, coming back to your clinical, you're already into the domain now because you have already completed the functions, all those you already completed. Here, let's say in the DM, we're talking about the DM. What kind of questions you can expect? Generally, I'll also give you the questionnaire. I have around 60 to 80 questionnaires, more than sufficient to attend any interview, I can say, more than sufficient. There may be different way of asking the questions, but the end, these are the boundaries. 70 to 80% of the interview will have only these 60 to 80 questions. We will discuss all of them. That too, we will discuss that while dealing with your domains. Let's say in the DM, what are the possible interview questions? One of the most commonly asked interview question is going to be, what is the difference between RFST-DTC and RFXST-DTC? You should be able to explain with the proper examples. That is how I'm going to teach you in the domains. Don't worry. If it is going to be your findings domain, how to find a baseline flag. What is this baseline flag? How it is different in SDTM when it compares to the ADAMS. What are the changes you can expect? Right? All these I'm going to explain. Don't worry. While talking about the domains itself, I'll stretch you where and all you have this interview questions. Have I answered your second question, Ajay?
Yes, Murli.
Okay, now going to the first question. So this is one of the common question, this one also, that is nothing but what are going to be the, your study, your project is based on what, right? See, all the time it will be different, but generally irrespective of whatever the clinical study it is the end of that, it is only going to deal with three things. Either it is going to be a medicine, or it is going to be a vaccine, or it is going to be a medical device. That's it, right? Correct. In this, we have various things. Maybe you are dealing completely on the oncology side. Maybe you are completely dealing with, uh, all the bacteria, viruses, and PK domains, right? Specific to the some domains, specific to the some of them. I totally accept that. Here, the in-class project that I talked about is a simple project. It is a general medicine one, a general drug. But the main project, the complex project that I have talked about, it is going to be, again, it is not into the oncology because most of the people ask about the oncology, but don't worry. I can help you with the theoretical part of that, what and all various questions you are going to face there and all. But generally, the one that I'm going to discuss is there are going to be two drugs. We can call it as lefamulin and moxifloxacin. These two are the two different drugs. We compare these two drugs and we are going to see the safety and efficacy. So the therapy areas are going to be like purely based on your drugs only. The only reason why I concentrate on this is you need to find a project first. You need a data. Getting a data for a real-time project is highly impossible. Correct or not? You can have any amount of any exposure to the particular domain, but how do you get the data? Getting the data is important. So luckily we got some data on this particular one, and we have a very high margin of 444 subjects. That study is going to give you a lot of exposure to most of the domains. Believe me, even if you enter into any of the study, you don't go to this extent. 444 is going to be a really big number when it comes to the number of unique subjects. So that exposure you will get for sure. Is that clear, Ajay? Still have any questions on?
Yes, no, my doubt is clear.
Wonderful.
And do we also get data set for practice?
Absolutely. If I don't give it, how do you practice it? I told you already here, right? So if I go to the first one, let's say I got raw data sets and I also have the specification Excel. Let's say I complete the coding for the DM. After completion of the coding for the DM, I store this particular one into SDDM. Done. I told you for the remaining ones, you need to code it. Let's say CO, comments domain. I ask you to start with this because it's a very simple domain. If I don't provide the raw data, if I don't provide the specifications, how do you code it? I should provide the data to you, right? Without the data, you cannot. So I will provide the data. See this. These are all raw data sets. All of them I'm going to provide. And I'm also going to give you the specification Excel. You should do the coding and we should connect each other for the clarifications one-to-one. Clear?
Okay. Thank you, Murli. Yes.
Perfect.
Clear.
Good. Others?
Yeah, Murli, this is Ajay again.
Yeah,
even
Ajay.
I don't have your number, so
I'll
if
do
you
one
can
thing.
put
I'll
your
just put it.
number in chat,
I'll
or
just
yeah,
put
or
it here.
even chat. Yes.
This
So
is
we
my
can
number.
Okay, sure.
The same is the
So
calling number. The same is the WhatsApp number.
yes. So I will ping it. So as you mentioned about some WhatsApp group, so you can also join
Sure.
myself in that group. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone?
Hey, hi Murli. This
Hey,
is
Lata.
Lata.
Hi, Lata. Tell me.
Yeah, actually, my doubt is I completed my bachelor's in microbiology few years back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm housewife. So here in US, I don't have work visa and everything. So yeah, so that's why I didn't get anything to do. So now I have visa. So that's why I'm thinking what to do, but I don't know what to do because of my education, like microbiology, and my husband and like everybody's IT side, but in microbiology side, I don't know here. So now only I search
Clinical
like
SAS is exploring like anything. It is like, I can say that it's like a bomb in US right now. N number of openings, N number of openings.
And like CDM and clinical SAS, I'm interested, but I don't know. Is that possible to learn SAS program and everything in this time?
Absolutely
So,
possible, ma'am. All you need is, again, I'm telling you, right effort. Effort is required. I don't say, guys, again, I'm telling to every one of you, remember this thing. This is to everyone. SAS.
Yes, mine also, Murli. I didn't have any experience previously. So
that's okay. That's okay. That is fine. That is fine. In US, it is easy. I'm telling you, in US, it is easy. But remember one thing to all of you. SAS, while listening, it is like a story. You keep listening, you feel like everything is easy, everything is just like you're listening and hey, I know everything. That's what you feel. Believe me, the same thing, a simple piece of code. If I give you one requirement, if you start coding it, if you start typing on your PC, believe me, your hand will not move if you don't have a practice. That is the problem with SAS. SAS for learning, for listening, it is quite easy. But for implementing it is difficult. So I need every one of you to pay little attention there. Now coming back to your question, ma'am, Lata. I'm telling you, don't concentrate on CDM. Again, you will be stuck with other stuff. Concentrate on CDISC itself. Concentrate on SAS programmer, clinical SAS programmer itself. There are so many good roles available over there, right? So we have another group. I told you, right? I'll also add you there. I'll also share you the link with everyone who you can simply join over there. Whenever there is an opening, whether it is going to be India or US, we will post there. Through LinkedIn, I got anything, or through connections, I got anything, or through our group itself, we receive a lot of people. Most of the people are there in the group from US only. They all learn SAS and they are nicely settled down there itself. Most of them are housewives. So no worries, right? All you need is a proper, just be good with SDTM, nothing more than that. Don't spend too much of time also. Be good with SDTM, start applying the jobs. Believe me, you can crack it. In India, it is difficult compared to US. I'm telling you, compared to US, it is a little difficult in India if you have a gap. But in US, you can easily manage that. Hope I have answered it, Lata and Devi.
Sure, sir.
Yeah,
And I have one question. So this clinical is related to any medical field or not?
See, you don't say it is a field. See, I'll tell you a simple thing. Let's say recently we all faced this COVID era, right? We all got, the vaccination. So do you think, let's say I have a Covaxin. So do you think Covaxin is related to anything? It is a medicine for a given situation. It's a vaccine, actually, not even a medicine, it's a vaccine. To develop this vaccine, it needs to be tested. It needs to be tested for two things: safety, whether it is working or not, efficacy, you can call it as here. That's it, right? So to do this systematically, to get this approved, we have clinical trials. Once it gets approved, it will come to the market and it will be distributed. If it is a vaccine, you do this. Let's say you have a drug called Dolo 650. We all know this. Paracetamol. How do you know that? How efficient it is for fever? How do you know it is safe for children of less than 12 years old? So I need to test again two things. It is a drug, safety and efficacy. I need to test again. Again, we'll go with the same clinical trials process, get the approvals, FDA approved, release into the market and use it. Again, let's say I have a device, a simple device, which I can use for, I want to check BP at home. I purchase a simple meter, digital meter. I just put it on my shoulder. That is for the show for this. And how do I know that is it accurate or not? My actual BP, let's say that 130/90, but if it is somehow it shows 160/80, what will happen? How do you know how accurate it is? How do you know that it is not compressing too much so that my hand will not get pain? Again, I need to look for the safety and efficacy. So whether it is going to be a vaccine or it is going to be a drug or it is going to be a medical equipment, it's supposed to go through the trials. That trial systematically need to arrange. For that, we are using the clinical trials. It may not be directly impacting into the medical or pharma, but it is all the dots are connected together. Is that clear?
Yes, Murali. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, actually, I don't know about SAS. Actually, previously I worked in some non-IT jobs.
That's fine.
So
that's
now,
fine.
Yeah. So now I'm searching for a good career path. So that's why I
No
chose
problem.
this one. So.
It's okay. Fine. That's okay. Fine.
Thank you.
Any questions from anyone else?
So one more question. So CDM, there is no coding and everything. So that's why I'm thinking which one is better for me.
Yeah. See, CDM compared
but
to this.
I want job. Yeah, I want job. So which one is good career and and I can't spend lots of time because with kids and so yeah,
Okay.
I can spend every day 3 to 4 hours. It's not an issue. So
Okay, let me help you, ma'am. A few things first. Which one is best? There is nothing called best job. There is nothing called worst job. It is all about what we want. Okay, let me tell you. Let's say I want to have a piece of life. I don't want to be too much involved into the work or too much of programming, or not too much also, at least I can say a very relaxed jobs I want. I'm not interested in the perks. I'm least bothered about the perks. All I need is a job. There may not be any exponential growth in that, simple growth. Let's say 4 years once or 5 years once, I can get one good promotion. Yearly hikes are going to be very minimal. I'm okay with that. Then choose CDM. It is not like degrading CDM. There are people who will earn a lot there, but the scope of this particular one is less, right? Number of opportunities are limited. That's a CDisk. That is, you're a clinical SAS programmer. You're wide open to the market now, right? There are a lot of, because you cannot expect anything without pharma, correct? Life sciences and pharma is the future. It is an evolving one. It is continuously evolving from past 100 years, right?
Yes, exactly.
There's
Exactly.
because for everything there is going to be a saturation, but not for the clinical, not for your pharma and life sciences. There is no saturation for that. There is a continuous evolvement. See, one of the simple example, I have around 13 years of experience. I've worked in 5 different companies. Still, I'm searching for clinical. Still, I'm learning clinical. Why? If you want to be competitive in the market, you need to be up to date. You need to upskill yourself all the time. You should be able to work in all the domains. So when you're coming from the life sciences background, you're any of the sciences background, life sciences background, why can't you, if 3 to 4 hours is too much of time in a day, I can tell you. If you spend 1 to 1.5 hours in the class, you still have 1.5 hours for the practice, for the revision. That's more than sufficient. I believe no one can invest more than 2 hours in a day for learning. That's my personal feeling. I cannot spend more than 2 hours. Every day I upskill myself, but not more than 2 hours. Maximum 1 hour. I'll concentrate on one new technology. Every 3 months once I learn one, and I'll keep upgrading. This is how I work. So it's again, I'm telling you, I told you, right? There is nothing called best or worst. Just choose what you want. Just write it down what you want. You're on the perks, you're on the explosive career, these kind of stuff, come to CDisk. If you're looking for cool career, no programming, okay perks, I'm okay with that. Choose CDisk. What you want in the next 5 years, that should drive you. Next, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Hey, Savitri, tell me.
Sir, you just showed that STTM programming and all. It's a little bit like it's a long programming, little bit scary also. So
I'm telling you, there are multiple ways of writing. Okay, I'll show you a few things. Don't worry. See,
looks very scary, sir.
No. See, that's what I'm telling to you. 2 things all the time. There is going to be an in-class project. There is going to be a main project. In-class project is more than sufficient. Generally, 20 subjects. I don't write any macros over there. But main project, I'll write a lot. It all depends on what you want. See, this is another code. Generally, people will not write all this. If you want, you can compare. Can you see there are a lot of macros? I'll go in deep. I'll make sure that you are industry fit. But it doesn't mean that you have to learn this. See, no one is going to test your SAS skills by writing how many macros you have written, what is the complex macro you have written. At this particular experience, no one asked this. So you don't need this. That's what I told you. If at the beginning, if you see, you need to be very, 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 very good with SDTM. As long as you are good with the domains, it's more than sufficient. But still, if you want to be industry fit, either you can grab that on the go while working in the organization, you can learn it. Else, I want to make sure you are ready. That's the reason I told you in the beginning, in-class project, I'll go everywhere. But the main project, if you see here, the main project, I'll only explain for the demographics. not for the remaining. Remaining, it's your personal interest. You try it. If you feel hard, put 1-to-1 with me. I'll help you. You want 1 hour of the time, 2 hours of the time, 5 hours of the time, maybe every day 1 hour, I don't mind. I can spend time with you. All I need is what you want. Having a good theoretical knowledge about all the domains, completing the in-house project with 20 subjects is more than sufficient. This is what most of the institutes will do. Along with that, I want to go one step ahead. I want to give something best. That's where I build up this particular project. A very complex one, which is exactly a real time. I'm myself telling you it is a complex one. Not every programmer will get a chance to work on this. So I'm giving you the opportunity. If you want to utilize, you can. If you want to utilize later, maybe after 1 year, fine. You can connect with me anytime. It is not like 3 months of the course. After 3 months, I'll leave you. There is no connection, nothing like that. You have, as long as I'm capable of teaching, as long as you are able to reach me, I can answer your questions at any point of time. That is the commitment I give to my students. Is that clear?
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Yes, anyone?
Hey Murali, hi.
Hey, hi Naveen Reddy, tell me.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. That was, very nice presentation.
Thank you.
And Murali, is there any resistant kind of thing for this kind of SaaS domains?
Okay. Recession always applicable to the market, not to the individual technologies. But having said that, there are some technologies, let's say DB2, one of the database, which will be basically operates on mainframes, right? And you have some other languages called COBOL, Fortran, and even PL1. If you are into any of this, I can say that these are obsolete technologies. There is going to be not a recession, those will be saturated at one point. Beyond that particular point, only maintenance will be there. There won't be any further development or enhancements. So the roles will be limited there. One part. Second part, SaaS. SaaS is almost evergreen. I can say that almost from past 50 years, the people are using this, and it is literally rocking, no doubt about it. Because I have been seeing this from the past 12 years. I can see every 5 years, there is going to be one wave. That wave will say that I want to decommission SaaS. That is, in my organization, I don't want SaaS. I want to offload SaaS. I want to replace with some other technology. Because the only reason is SaaS is expensive. Okay, but SaaS will somehow overcome that particular period. Again, it will be popping up. Again, it will be exploring, right? Having said that, if you are into any other industry, especially banking industry, there is a threat, because I'm into the banking industry, there is a threat where we started decommissioning SaaS. Yes, there we started, right? Not only we, means this is most of the companies, especially banks, started doing their proof of concepts, making sure that they want to achieve what they are achieving with SaaS with Python. One of the main thing, PySpark. These are the technologies that they are trying right now. But this one haven't entered into the clinical yet. Clinical, there is only one thing, SaaS, that's it. Nowadays, if you watch closely the LinkedIn influencers who are into the SaaS, especially into the CDS, TLFs, tables, listings, and figures, they're actually implementing in R programming. Not every company, few of them. But this traditional shift, the paradigm shift from the one technology to other technology always happens. But always, I can tell you with very, I can say that solid way, I can say that as long as you are into the clinical industry, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, you can be comfortable, you can sustain in SaaS. But never mean that you should stick only with SaaS. We just learn SaaS, start working in the SaaS slowly. Now clinical industry, if you are into the clinical, try to learn R. Maybe 2 years down the line, maybe 3 years down the line, start becoming an expertise in that. It will help you. If you are into the any other industry, especially banking industry, concentrate on Python. That is the future. Right? These are all open sources. Anytime, any issue may bring them down. But this one is enterprise solution. There's no alternatives to that. Hope I have answered this question. Naveen?
Yeah, Murali. I was going to ask about, our it was evolving right now,
Yes.
it was an alternative to SAS, right?
Yeah, it is not an alternative to SAS. Okay, Python and R, both of them are going to be like open source languages. As long as you are into the machine learning, artificial intelligence, people are using Python. You are more into the research side, the people are using R. Clinical trials falls under the R&D. That's the reason R is evolving only in this industry. If you come to the banking, if you come to the healthcare and all, Python is like anything. It is rocking. These are not the alternatives. People are trying their best to meet the demands of the SaaS with Python or R. The reason for that is they want to get rid of some of this cost cutting. They want to get rid of the SaaS because this is very, very expensive. You don't believe the numbers if I speak about the dollar amount that every company will pay to SaaS will simply blow your mind. That expensive. But still they're using. The reason is the level of comfort it is giving, the level of security it is giving is priceless. Right? But yes, there is always evolving. So this is your base. On top of it, you should be prepared because market will be always floating, right? But I told you, right, what is the current market trend is also. And SaaS is not simple, right? Always they want to be competitive. If someone is bringing some packages in Python, they are also building the same packages in SaaS in a more flexible way so that they are holding their current customers. That is how SaaS is playing. If you think in that particular lines, Naveen, you cannot learn any language. Every language has its own advantages and disadvantages. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, nothing. Even I was, completely new to this as
That's fine. I'll always tell to every one of you, do the research first. Don't believe whatever your mentor is saying. I'm telling you openly, right? All you need to do is only one thing. Do some research in the Google. Nothing beats Google. Do that. Second, go to the job portals. Go to the job portals. Naukri, Indeed, JobStreet, whatever it is. Just go to the portals. Search the skill that you want to search. Let's say SaaS. Put experience level 5 to 10, 3 to 5, 0 to 2, whatever the experience that you are into. Put that and see the openings. Just always put a filter of less than 30 days. See how many openings are there. That will give you the correct picture. Go to the individual tabs and see what is going to be the desired qualification that they are looking at. The desired qualification tell you what you need to learn. That's it. That is the true picture, not me or someone else is telling. That is the true picture. Hope I'm clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Anyone? All right. Generally, I take 1 hour, 15 minutes. That is until 9:15. We are already 10 minutes overrunning, but never mind. It is an initial class. And anyone have any questions, feel free to drop me a message or call me in this number. This is my number. You can always reach me over there. And also, just a second, I'll also give you the WhatsApp chat group. So if you are already part of it, well and good. If you're not part of it, one of the good group where you can have enough discussions on SaaS. If you have any doubt, for an example, just put it there. Just put there. Either me, most of the time I'll answer it. If not me, anyone else in the group also will answer. That is learners and users group. That is the people who have already learned SaaS from me are part of this group, around 100 people, 100 to 150. And other than that, the enthusiastic people who want to learn or who want to implement, who want to upskill SaaS are also part of it. So just use that particular one. I'm just putting that particular one in your chart. Done. You can join there and you can put whatever the discussions you want there. You're welcome, but make sure it is related to SAS or it is related to openings, but not anything else. All right. That's all for today, guys. Glad to meet most of you here. Most of you are new to me. Some of you I have already talked about, but most of you are new to me. So hope this journey will continue and we will connect again by Monday. So the classes will be from Monday to Friday. The same link will be applicable Monday to Friday. It is 8 p.m. IST and the class will go for 1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, 1 to 1 hour 15 minutes. All right. See you all on Monday. Have a good weekend. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Murali.
Thank you all.